hello, and welcome back to CoGoMee Creative Home with Mrs. May. I am so excited, as always, to have you guys here with me. I'm really excited about today's topic. I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts and my feelings about our first half year of homeschooling. Oh my gosh, it's hard to believe, but we are at the halfway point. We are not going to be homeschooling all year round. We decided to have a school year. And that's just because my kids, they have been in public school and they know, hey, well, listen, we get breaks. So, and they have expressed to me that, Mommy, we want winter break, we want spring break, we want summer break. And so I realized that I just like that too. And what's so funny is that what I found is that coming from being a public school family to a homeschool family, there are like certain rifts that happen. So, in the beginning of the school year, you're on that high. And then at about Christmas, well, I want to say like right before Thanksgiving, I find that we are ready to kind of like break. So even though we're homeschooling now, I still find that those things are happening, which is pretty cool. All right. So anywho, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to start from the beginning. We are on week 20 now, and we are going to be homeschooling for about 40 weeks. We do not homeschool 5 days a week. We homeschool 4 days a week. So it's been working out for us. So in the beginning, I decided to take 6 weeks off. And for those of you who are recently joining our CoGoMee family of listeners and viewers, I have a business, Isn't Life More? You can check that out at the link below. And I am a graphic designer, and I help people get their businesses up and going and also thriving and organized and all that good stuff. But I took 6 weeks off because I really wanted to focus on my children, and I wanted to focus on getting us set up for homeschool because it's super, super important to me. And I'm like, I need to make sure that I do this right. And that's just the way my brain works. So I wanted to make sure that I had dedicated time to dig into all the things, to experience whatever mess there was or whatever, to experience it fully, and then, jump back into business. So that's what I did. Oh my gosh, the first 6 weeks. The first 6 weeks were emotional for me because, I'm just like, can I do this? Which I know I can, but there was a lot of fear and a lot of aspects. There was just so many questions. There was a lot of prayer. And even though I had prepared, I still didn't feel prepared. And so those first 6 weeks, I remember journaling just my different thoughts. And I look back and I'm like, wow, none of those things are a concern anymore. For instance, I just felt like we needed a different kind of transition into homeschooling. How do I want to say this? I felt like maybe we needed to take it a little bit slower. But then when we took it slower, it was frustrating. So then I was like, okay, should we unschool? And I'm not gonna, I have to be honest with you guys. I looked into unschooling, and I was just like, okay, it frustrated me to think about unschooling in the context that people were sharing with me. And I was just like, this is just not going to work for me. Even before we decided to homeschool, I always look at my kids' interests, and I always consider their personalities and what they're, interested in at that moment. So I've always had teachable moments with them. I've always, taken an active role in their education, and I've never fully left their education in their public school teachers' hands at all, ever. So just being that type of a parent, I was like, well, what is unschooling? And, you know, I still don't really know, because what I was told and what I've read, it's not clicking in my brain what it is. And since I have raised my children to always be like learning anyway, trying to unschool them was very frustrating. It was very frustrating, very tedious. And then I decided, you know what? I don't really know the depths of unschooling, but that's not for me. And that was a weight lifted. It really was. It just did not go with my personality at all, as a homeschool parent. And so that was one of the things that I was like, God, you know what? I surrender this because I just cannot do this. So one of the big things like within those first 6 weeks was me just finding my way, me finding what works for my 3 daughters, what works for our home, what works for our personalities, and how this is going to work for us. Because you know what? A bazillion people can give you insight and things that have worked for them, but you got to find out what works for you. So that's what these like 20 weeks have really been about. The first half of our homeschool year has been just a blessing. I started planning our lessons this way, and love lesson planning. But lesson planning, it always gives me like a time to reflect on the week and to find out, okay, well, how did the girls like this and how did they like that? What did I see? What needs to be taken away? What needs to be added? What do we need to do maybe once a week or twice a week versus every day? So it's just been me figuring out what our flow is, what our rhythm is, and what is going to work best for us. Some of the things that I was just really, really, really scared about was, of course, my kids falling behind. And no, you can't fall behind anyone in homeschool because, who are you going to fall behind? That is a public school practice. It doesn't really apply in homeschool. What are you going to fall behind? Because you're doing your own thing. So it was hard for me to get that. I was just like, you're going to fall behind. And I'm so thankful and grateful to God because I have just amazing homeschool women of God who offered me their insight and their knowledge. And it's just been really, really beautiful. I would say they've talked me off of like the ledge. Not that I was on a ledge, but like they've talked me off of like, oh my gosh, I'm failing. So that's been really cool. Such a blessing. What else? Oh, well, you know what? One great thing is that we love all of our curriculum. So that's a good thing. I also tweak it to fit like, whatever we're doing. So what I try to do is I'll try to like match the kids' lessons like all on the same subject when I can. For instance, this upcoming week, which of course will be a little bit over the halfway mark, will be in week 21. But the cool thing about this week is that, and it just flowed, is that all the girls have like the same science lesson. So I'm like, okay, good. So we're going to be digging into that, and it should work out nicely. I love that. We love to watch things together. And of course, we love, love, love art and science and all that good stuff. And I love it when it all flows together. And that's another thing. Like our first half year of homeschooling, everything has flowed just seamlessly. And I'm just very thankful. Everything has just flowed. This every lesson plan and it just has flowed really, really, really well. Um, I'm so grateful for this experience. Oh my gosh, I gotta share this with you guys. So listen, so for winter break, we took a whole month off, and I'm just like Uh, if you are coming from the public school system too, then you know that we normally get 2 weeks off. But I was so adamant. Oh my gosh, I gotta share this with you guys. Listen, so I was so adamant about, okay, over winter break, I'm going to make sure that we do 1 hour of work every day. Now, this is my bright idea, okay? And I'm like, okay. And let me tell you, I was thinking, like, okay, it'll be good for the kids to, like, at least have that 1 hour dedicated learning per day so that, when January comes, they could just easily flow back in. No. That did not happen. And so I'm like, okay, just Lord have your way in our homeschool. And I'm just going with your flow. We ended up taking a month off. And so I decided that, you know what? We are on one of those like riffs where it's time for us to take a break. And I decided that my second daughter's her birthday is actually going to be the start of our winter break, and we will always take a month off now. So I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. We enjoyed. We did. Right now we aren't able to get out of the house as much as we'd like. But we still enjoyed our time. And I'm telling you, I can definitely see in years to come how we are just going to be enjoying our winter breaks. So that was such a blessing. And then getting back into the groove of things was actually pretty easy. So I take no credit for it. Listen, God is awesome. I'm like, oh, okay. And yeah, it kind of flowed. The girls they knew the routine, and so it flowed really well. And so I was like, we make our plan, but hey, God says something else. And that is exactly what happened with our winter break. Let's see what I'm trying to see what has been like the hardest part for me. Getting out of my brain and how I think things need to be. That's been like the hardest part. And of course, I know that these next 20 weeks, or the second half of our first homeschool year, is going to be even more of a learning experience. So I'm already like fully indulged in our curriculum for next year. And as a matter of fact, I need to go ahead and place my order sometime within this next week. And then I already have like everything that I need for my youngest and for my middle daughter, and only my high schooler will be left. And that's intentional because she's going into high school. So I need to see what is going to be happening with like co-op, and I need to see what's going to happen with, is the country opening back up and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like waiting. Not that I like to wait to the last minute, but only God knows where we'll be in August 2021. So right now it's January, and I just gotta wait. I am looking into different things. I have somewhat of a plan, but I just gotta wait and see where we'll be at with everything, because I don't want to get ahead of myself with her. The smaller two, their stuff is already put together and good to go. Let's see what else. There's been so many great things, and so many beautiful learning experiences, and I'm learning more and more and more that I have control over absolutely nothing. And I just have to be led by the Spirit. I think that's super important in homeschooling, public schooling, life, whatever the case may be. That's just, really, really important. So that's what I have been doing. Let's see. If you guys have any questions for me, please leave those questions in the comments because I love answering those for you. And I'll be sure to reply to you in the comments. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I don't think so. Oh, the girls are enjoying homeschooling. You know what's so funny is that my daughters, they are natural homeschoolers. It's so crazy. Like my oldest, I'm like, Lord, really? Like, which I should have known. I did homeschool her for pre-K. But she's just, all of them are. I saw like this joke in one of the homeschool groups that was saying like, what do you do when you find like your homeschooling kids skipping class? And I'm like, oh my goodness, because if you think about it, like I never really thought about it, but like I'll notice that my kids, like they'll get up or, they'll be doing their assignments and then they'll just get up and they'll start playing. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, what are you doing? We're schooling right now. But they're just so relaxed and they're just so like they do their thing, okay? And it's so cute. I love it. And my oldest, she does it too. Like she'll be working and then I look back and she's gone. And I'm just like, well, where did she go? And she's outside watering the plants. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, praise the Lord, because like this is the lifestyle that I wanted for them. I wanted, for them to have the freedom and the flexibility and the family time that the Lord was laying on my heart. So you can see the full video of some of the reasons why I started to homeschool and why I felt led to homeschool. I'll leave that link in the comments below, so go ahead and check it out. I might put it up here or up here somewhere too, so you could be able to click on it and check it out. But yeah, those are some of the things that have just been really awesome. It's been really great sleeping in. Oh boy, it's been really great not having that hustle and bustle of running around. Oh, I can't tell you enough. Like this mama here, I was tired. All the running, all the time. Oh my gosh. I'm like, ah. So yeah, that's been such a blessing to our family too. You know what? Let's see. One of the hardest things. Let me try to mix it up here because there's been so many great things. I did share with you that one of the hardest things is getting out of my head and kind of letting things flow. My personality is not a let it flow type of personality, so I found a good balance with that, and I'm still fine tuning it. And I think I may be fine tuning that for a long time. I am not like a laid back person in general. I'm not. My husband is a laid back person and it drives me up the wall. I'm not, but hey, we balance each other out. I'm more of a go type of person and he's very, very laid back. So it works out good for the kids because they get the best of both worlds. But especially like in our homeschooling, I am becoming more aware of like, oh, okay, well, this is my personality, but this is the kids' personalities. And so let me adjust to give them what they need. And so, yeah, I just, I've been working on that. And yeah, it's a total work in progress. It really, really is. I would say one of the hardest things too has been staying in the house so much. I anticipated like being able to go out on field trips and, day trips and different things. And because of COVID, I'm just like, oh my gosh. And yes, we go outside in the backyard. Yes, we go to the park sometimes. But for the most part, I'm like, you know, it's a lot of time, in the house. I'm looking forward to actually meeting our co-op family. Right now, it's just virtual. I'm looking forward to my kids. What is it called? Like getting out and connecting with their peers and connecting with homeschool families and building relationships and community. And that's just been so hard. At points, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've kind of like missed community. But I realized that I'm absolutely not alone. And this is not like a homeschool family or public school family type of a thing. Everyone in the world is experiencing some form of loneliness or separation right now because our days are not normal like they were. So, or at least I feel that way. This is my 2 cents. So yeah, that's been really, 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 really hard. I'm hoping that by the summer we can kind of break free and COVID's a distant memory, but only the Lord knows. So we'll just continue to do our best and create wonderful experiences in our home and outside and at the park. And in the meantime, that's all we can do, right? Because we want to stay safe and we don't need any added stress. So I would say that's been, a huge, like hard thing that we've, been overcoming. Some weeks I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I get in the house. But yeah, I think all your first year homeschoolers are experiencing that now, and even some veterans, especially if you're an active homeschool family outside of your home, then it can be hard. But I think that's it. That's all I have to share with you guys. Our first half of the year has gone very well. There's definitely been some hills and some valleys and, everything in between. But for the most part, I look back and I'm just like, wow, every concern that I had in like those first couple weeks, things that I was like crying about, in my secret place. And I was praying about and just really concerned about, I'm like, oh wow, those things are not even a concern anymore. So I'm so grateful, so thankful for growth and understanding and just finding our way, finding out what works for us. It's really been such a blessing. So that's been our first half of the school year. I have some great videos coming up for you guys, so please keep a lookout on that. It's in, oh my gosh, in February, I have some book hauls for you guys, some fab finds coming up, and curriculum talk and all of that. Once I make my order, then I'm going to do a walkthrough, a peek through, and all kinds of stuff with you guys. So don't forget to like this video. Leave a comment. Let me know, what you want me to elaborate on, any questions that you have for me. If you're considering homeschooling, I am definitely open for chit-chatting with you. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date with our homeschool journey. Also, with all the resources and things that we have coming out, because there's a lot that is going on over here at CoGoMee Creative Home, and I'm excited to have you guys along for the journey. Thank you guys so much for listening and spending your time with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.